But here, people, like, they act like a friend. It doesn't matter what age they are, what profession they are working at, but they always behave like they are your friends. So that was a beautiful cultural shock for me.
Hello and welcome to the International Student Experience, a Swansea University podcast where we delve into the stories and journeys from students from around the world who've chosen to study here in the UK. Today I'm joined by Narottam Tiwari. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you could just give us an introduction of who you are, where you're from, and what you're studying.
I'm from Nepal, basically, and completely I'm doing my master's in healthcare management in Singleton campus. And my journey starts from like Nepal, India, now UK. So it's been a crazy roll on journey, but it's good, to have here.
What does that journey look like? How did you get here?
I went to India to do my undergrad. And during my course, I thought of studying healthcare management back 4 or 5 years back. So that time, I was very fascinated about the working of hospitals and how the manager, apart from the clinicians, how the hospital actually runs. So I was very much intrigued by that. And while searching for the universities, I basically looked for UK because obviously it is one of the top leading country for international students and for colleges. I chose Swansea because of the beach, its ranking for the healthcare management, and its job opportunity. So that would bring me to Swansea University,
What did you do your undergrad in?
I did a Doctor of Pharmacy. It's a 6 years course in India. So it's basically a mix of clinics and research work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very different what I am currently pursuing at the moment. So the change is very drastic, but it is very interesting actually.
Then what made you want to go into healthcare management?
Starting because after completing my +2, it was like nobody has actually any ideas like what I'm going to do in life. So it was very confusing state for me. But anyhow, I was not very good at maths. And I chose biology as my major subject in +2. And that's what, at first I thought of studying MBBS, that's a doctor degree in India and Nepal. But then I thought, okay, maybe I can choose, something different from what the people are actually doing. Because in our place, doctors are they're everywhere. Every house has one doctor. So I just wanted to be something, something different.
Yeah.
So I chose the research side of it, which was quite good. I was very much interested in doing the research in pharmacology and clinical therapeutics. But then again, as I told you, I was confused. After during my undergrad, I came to know about the facilities that the managers of the hospital, they understand and they handle the whole businesses. And I was like, okay, this looks really cool than what I'm supposed to do. My interest suddenly is just shifted from clinicians directly to the business operation side. So I think I was in my 3rd year of my undergrad, and I started looking for healthcare management degree all over India, Nepal, Canada, UK, everywhere. And by the end of my degree, I came to know, okay, I want this degree, I want in UK. And then I started looking for the universities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was your doctorate in pharmacology, was that a requirement of the healthcare management? What sort of fields are the rest of your classmates, have they come from?
The major requirement is it's good to have a degree related to human health. Even it's not required because basically if we are doing something related to business, even physiotherapists or everything, those people are also able to do this degree. But my field is basically focused on pharmacy and the research side of it, pharmaceuticals. So what I was the thing I said, it's very different than what I did. Because most of of my classmates, they are either from dentist background or MBBS. So for them, it's they have worked in a hospital. They know how a hospital works. But for me, it's It's just I know how a pharmacy runs or medicine. I can prepare a pharmacy like paracetamol right here, but I don't know how to go from this preparing paracetamol directly to managing a unit. So it's a change for me, but it's a good change, I say.
What really drove you to choose Swansea? What was it about like Swansea specifically that you're like, this is where I want to be?
Well, Swansea, if you're talking about the city, it's a beautiful city, I must say. First of all, the beach. I love beach because in Nepal we don't have it. So beach was the most interesting part. And then the university itself, because while researching for the course, I came to know that healthcare management has a very good reputation here. I talked to some of the students who were already studying in Swansea University, and also the as I said, the job prospectus, because I know like almost like 98 to 100% of the students who passed out from the Swansea University are already working in a good organization or NHS, or they have opened their own private clinics.
Were you able to visit Swansea before you chose Swansea?
No, I wish I could. Coming from Nepal is like very tough to get into UK. So I never thought of visiting the college. I just thought like I'll just enroll myself in the course, and if I'll get the visa, then I'll definitely go there.
So what were your first impressions when you first came here?
I was confused. I was really confused because I don't know, like after coming from Nepal, the moment I landed in Heathrow, then I came to Swansea, there was like nobody whom I know, and the whole city, the whole, like every person, they were new for me. I was very nervous, anxious what I'm gonna do. Then I came to the university. I think after landing to Swansea, after 2 days, I came to the university, and I visited all of the buildings and places, the gym, everywhere, and I'm like, wow. Okay, this is good. This is where I'm gonna spend my 1 year. So this looks great, yeah.
How does the location compare to where you did your undergrad, and how does it compare to back home in Nepal? Like, what's the feel like?
I haven't been studied much in Nepal because after my +2, I went to India. So in India where I studied, it was similar to the city. It was a coastal city surrounded by Arabian Sea. However, the weather was different.
Right.
It was summer, like 12 months a year, humidity, and population-wise, it was like, okay, like if you say in India, but that city was like good. And if you compare that city that is called Mangalore, that city Mangalore to Swansea, I can see like lots of similarities between these cities. First of all, the people, they are like really kind. Even in Swansea and back in Mangalore, both of these people, like they are really good. Another thing is obviously the beach, again, I'd say. And then the one thing that I loved about Swansea is the rainy weather. It's like, I love rain, so it is really good to, be here. Even while going out, I don't care anymore to get wet or what. It's just, okay, let's feel it. It's the rain, so...
You mentioned being confused then when you first came here. And now I'm sure that happens for a lot of international students or anyone when they've left home and gone to a different country. What was it that was so confusing?
It was mostly about like the place itself, because it's a new place, right? So it was so overwhelming, the thoughts and everything, like how I'm gonna live here, how I'm gonna like make friends. That's the major part of it, like because I knew nobody over here. So for me, making friends was my most focused thing. And apart from that, I was also confused regarding my stay.
Right.
Yeah. And like my day-to-day habits, like of groceries and everything, I have to cook for myself. I'm gonna like manage my study plus work. Like so many thoughts were like in my brain, and I was thinking like how I'm gonna do everything. I don't know. I was like talking to my parents, like how I'm gonna manage. But again, I knew that I have managed for so long. Now I am confused. I don't know. Yeah, I think after 1 or 10 days, I was like, okay, I can do this.
So what did you do then? Like, how did you get over that? Like, how did you make friends? How did you deal with the groceries?
For the friends part, I joined the societies. I joined, Nepali societies, wild swimming societies, Indian societies, and I also went for the Muay Thai classes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so from there I came to know so many people, lovely people, and that's how I managed to been to nobody to been to someone whom I can be with. For the grocery part, I asked some of my friends, the people whom I'm sharing my apartment with, and they helped me to show me the nearby locations such as Tesco and everywhere, Lidl, and I used to compare the prices first of all, because for me, coming from a Nepali rupees to converting it to UK pound was a big different back then. So I was used to calculate everything for this how much, if it's cost £2 in here, how is gonna cost me in Nepal? So I just think so £2 is basically 300. My goodness, it's so costly. But then after I got job, and then everything I got settled over here pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were there other people in the societies in similar boats that were who needed to know how to find groceries and find their way around? Was it helpful to meet people in similar situations?
I would say yes, because after I came here, there were so many people who came after me. So they were calling me, texting me and calling me, please help me for the groceries and all. And for that, I used to call my friends. So where do I get this product, or where do I get this one with the cheaper options? So stage by stage, they used to help me, and I used to help the other people.
Did you ever use any of the support here at the university, like the International Campus Life?
Yeah, I do remember Happus. As I said, the overwhelming thoughts of being alone and in a new place, it was really difficult initially. Then I came to know about from my lecturers that there is a mental service, health service in university called Happus. I went through the website. It was in my canvas. I went through it. I took some of the classes, not all classes to be honest. It actually helped me to control my imagination, I would say.
Okay.
And back then, I was very distracted. It was difficult for me to focus on my study, because there were assignments and projects and then classes. Plus, I had to also manage my job. Plus, missing my home and my friends then back at home. So Happers actually helped me to get me into the line, into the track,
Right.
focus one by one. The most beautiful part of that, if you keep on imagining big things, you're always going to miss the smaller part of it. So I started focusing on the smaller part. Okay. I don't want to think what's going to happen tomorrow. Right now, what I'm going to do, that's what made the changes. And it was a beautiful thing that I chose to do, actually.
Okay. So would you recommend it to
Yeah,
anyone?
definitely. Anybody who is suffering from loneliness or any kind of anxiety, then they should definitely look for the Happers. That's going to help them for sure.
Have you experienced, because you studied in India as well, did you experience similar feelings of being away from home there? Or was it, do you think, because you were so far away here?
I would say the latter one, because talking about the India, we have kind of similar culture. Whenever we go to India, it's we don't feel like we have come from in a different country. We're
Right.
okay, it's just the same country, same kind of people, same. The people can even I can speak Hindi, so it doesn't matter. As I said, the cultural part is similar, so making friends over there is quite easier. Here, I find it quite difficult because of some of the cultural shock which I faced over here.
Right.
Coming from Nepal to India, then coming directly to the UK is a very strange situation for me. It's like being in a similar place, India, Nepal, and then coming to UK, which is completely different than what we used to think. Because we always used to watch movies Hollywood movies, and we used to see London like this, all like, but never actually thought of like when we were kid. We never thought of coming to like, okay, one day I'll go to UK. I never thought of that.
Right.
Yeah, but now after coming here, I saw what actually it is, and what I used to see in movies and what it is like. It's because mostly I used to see like Marvel movies. So now it feels really good that at least I can gain this experience. I can learn from the culture what I always like thought of, what I always used to watch in the movies. Now I'm actually experiencing it, and the most beautiful thing is that I'm loving the culture over here. Yeah.
Good.
Our culture, our place, it's kind of a little orthodox, I would say.
Right.
We are very traditionally focused environment. We have grown up in that kind of environment. We are coming from those background, and then seeing the freedom over here, the places that we always used to dream, the people we always used to see like, oh, foreigners. Now we are living with them, we're making friends with them, we're hanging out with them. It's completely different, but it's so similar.
What are some of the biggest cultural differences then?
First of all, I would say the most beautiful thing is how the people address you. It's like, hello, darling. That was, oh my goodness, somebody can speak so beautifully with you. And that, because, in our place, everybody like, if somebody is senior than you, then you have to get utter respect to them. We have to always speak with head down and like, okay. But here people like, they act like a friend. It doesn't matter what age they are, what profession they are working as, but they always behave like they are your friends. So that was a beautiful cultural shock for me.
Is it nice to experience the other cultures, not just the UK cultures, but we've got such a diverse mix of the student body and even staff here. Is that beneficial, do you think, to the whole international experience?
Definitely, I would say, because the thing is, when you following one pattern of a culture and then you see a completely different culture, then obviously you will get shocked, like what's going on. But that's how you grow actually, right? Because you come to know like there are so many other things apart from what you used to see.
Mm-hmm.
And experiencing culture from different like people and from different countries, you'll see that everything has a story, right? Every person, they are like unique in their own way, and there is nobody to judge. Like we are nobody to actually judge anyone. Everyone are beautiful. It's like, for me, I love the culture over here. I love the culture in India, and I have some of my like friends from Iran, so I love their culture too. It's all about experience. I want to experience as much as I can. That's why I like to make a diverse group of friends, so that I can learn a little bit from everybody without judging anyone, right? So yeah, I would suggest everybody to not only get into their own group. If they are in UK or in any other country, they should get to the local areas. They should meet the local people, also people from different countries, so that they can know like there is a world different than what they used to experience over their place.
You mentioned work early. How did you find the job market? Like, what options were available to you as a student to work?
Well, when I was in Nepal, I started looking for like job back in my home country. So I did so many research. I watched so many YouTube videos and all, and there was like negative aspect of it. Like UK is already filled with people. There's no job at all, and I was like very scared. But that's what I got lucky. I don't know. After coming to UK, in 10 days I got the job. It's not that bad. Why do people keep saying that? I did work in Amazon for 3 months, and then I got into the student ambassador scheme. Then I started working for university. I also worked for other companies. Then finally I get into the Allison Healthcare. I worked in the pharmacy. Now I'm working in a warehouse. So obviously there are lots of job for students. Nobody can say like I haven't got a job, because I have so many friends who are working, like who have worked in different places now, who are working in different places, and it's nobody's complaining like I haven't got job or anything like that. So it's good. Even in a Swansea, like it's a small city, but still there are lots of opportunity available
Yeah.
for students. So that's a good thing.
What was your ambassador work and your ambassador life like?
Okay, the first day I worked in the parking area and it was raining, and I was just holding the umbrella and I was like, okay, go this way, go this way. And for 8 hours I did that. But I loved it because of the environment, because I was not the only one doing that. And there were so many people, and we were talking, we were laughing, discussing about our future and our past.
Yeah.
So it was a good working environment, though the thing what that we were doing is like, okay, it's just a little boring. But then the second day I went for the campus tour and all. I loved it. I actually loved it. I think on that day I went for a trip for like 25 to 30 people.
Okay.
Yeah, from morning to evening, and I was showing like everywhere. The best part was how, as an international student, people were used to ask me lots of questions, how you are managing everything, how you are like, even as a student coming from Nepal, you are working here, studying here, and like there's nobody whom you can, like rely on, but still you are surviving on your own. And I used to explain my journey and my experiences. That's a beautiful part of it.
Was it useful? Was it flexible? Would you
Oh, yeah,
recommend other students to apply?
Definitely, I recommend that. Because of the ambassador scheme, only now I'm sitting here and talking with you. So it's a very great thing. First part is you're gonna meet so many people, you're gonna make so many friends, all from different background, studying different subjects from undergrad to master degree. Again, you gotta go to, photo shoots and all. You can get your own photos. And now we are recording this podcast. Then again, day after tomorrow, I got interview. So all this is happening because of the student ambassador scheme. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also get to meet people as well, make friends, and
Yeah, that's what.
help deal with that initial loneliness of
Yeah. Oh,
being-
yeah. Oh, definitely. I was kind of introverted person initially when I came here. Though I used to make friends, but most of the time I was like, okay, now I want my private space. I don't want to go anywhere for 2-3 days. I used to lock my room and just be in my own space. But here in UK, I cannot do that. People like calling me, come out every Friday night, every Saturday night. Like, I don't know. I can't say no to them anymore. Initially, I used to say, nah, I'm not in the mood. But now I'm like, okay, let's go. So I'm completely changed now. I can talk to anybody I want. Before, I used to get even scared to ask questions to strangers. I don't know why, but it used to happen. But now I'm like, okay, sir, how are you? Are you good? Fine. And that's what, this is also the part of the culture, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, because the people, how they speak, how they talk, even to somebody who is walking on the street, like, all right. Like, yeah, all right. But in our place, it doesn't actually happens like that.
Yeah.
So it completely changed me, I would say, and it's a very positive change. I'm loving the change, actually. I'm loving the person I've become here. So I would say that any international student who is coming here should, like, open their arms and welcome everybody. They shouldn't be hiding in their own space, in their own room, and making friends from their own country. They would explore all of the cities, explore major things that are happening, like such as festivals and all, and they would be like living their best life, I would say.
Do you think the people and the environment of Swansea helps that? Like, is it an environment and a community where you can make those friends and find yourself? Is it a supportive environment?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because as I said, how I was before and how I have become, Swansea has played like almost 100% of it. The people, the environment, Everything is very kind. Like till now, everybody, they were really kind to me, really helpful. Any questions, any situation, I was like, I can call anybody, I can talk to anybody, and my friends from my class to my other activities which I do, such as swimming and gym. Everybody has helped me a lot to cope up my loneliness and be the person, get active and go to different places. Till now, initially, like for like 2 3 months, I was, as I said, I was always sitting in my room, going nowhere. But now I think I have explored most of the Swansea, and not only Swansea, most of the southern part of the Wales.
So outside of work and outside of studying, then where do you like to visit? Like, what do you do? What are your hobbies? Where do you go? What do you do?
Okay, basically, I like to get involved myself in music, like playing guitar, singing, and everything. Apart from that, I go to gym, swimming, visiting different places and castles, and visiting the museums, learning about the history majorly, and also do actively involved in volunteering services over here. I'm currently volunteering with BMHS that helps the minority students focus on their mental well-being too.
Okay. The volunteering experience you mentioned there, was it BMHS?
Yeah.
How did you find that, and why do you do that?
I found about the VMHS in job teacher through the Swansea University itself. I was supposed to be the project coordinator over there, but I was already working in Amazon, so I couldn't do that role. So I asked them to as if I can be the volunteer, and they were more than happy to get me involved. Most of the people were from like countries such as China, India, Nepal, and Nigeria. Those students were new to this place. We used to help them with uh, getting new SIM cards, to making friends, to getting involved in some events. We even had a very huge event in Brangwyn Hall, from live music to uh, job searches and all, and it was a great success for us. So for me, getting involved in BMHS also helped me to focus myself on how I used to be, and I could see myself on other people, the new students, and so that I can relate to them and I can help them. So that was really interesting part of it.
It's important then to be able to get someone who you can see that
Yeah.
was in the same place you are to be where you are now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you do any other volunteering services? Is there any other anything else that you do to help new students or international students?
I would not say volunteering, but I do actually help them. Anybody who comes to comes in contact with me, it doesn't matter from which place they are, I try my best to help them, because I know it can be really difficult as a new student. It can be difficult to focus on everything and managing day to day lives. Then I do remember I have a friend. He came in January intake, and they were like asking me every day. They used to call me and ask me about how I'm gonna get this, where about the buses, about the groceries, about the, as I said, the SIM cards, the money management thing, and also the mental well-being, about the assignments. So they have like lots of questions, like thousands of questions. They keep on asking us, and I was so happy to help them. That was the part. They felt like I they can trust me, and now we are like so close. We became kind of best friends. And I'd say like anybody who is coming new, and a person who is already studying here, have lived there like for a few months here, they can actually relate with each other. They can help each other, and that's how they can manage to live in Swansea.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's really important for international students to make those connections, to find out who they can speak to and how they can help navigate their way around the new cities?
Yeah, it is actually really important. As I said, for me, I as I was introverted, I was like, for me it was kind of hard to make friends, but still I used to ask people like how I'm gonna get this, how I'm gonna get that. But now I'm like, I don't want anybody else to be in that situation. I don't want people to get confused with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody is like any international student who is coming first time over UK, then I will say that the first thing they should do is join the societies. They should meet their classmates and like communicate as much as possible. That's how you're gonna get like your things going, because without making connections, it's quite hard. You would be like really stressed about everything, not only the basic thing that we require in our lives, but also the studying part. Without talking to our friends, it would be difficult to know that which services the universities are providing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, like I talked about the HAPUS. Now, most of my classmates don't know about HAPUS because I have shared my experience with them. And anybody who feel that they are not feeling happy or they are feeling lonely, then they are using that service, and it's quite good.
Okay, last few questions for you then. Do you like your course? And what's next for you?
I love my course actually. And I was like very much sure that, okay, I made a good decision of studying this course. And I did quite a hard work. I studied a lot. And now my future goal is to, like, for now, I want to get into the NHS. Recently, I even got an internship. I got an opportunity to work with NHS for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a quite good experience for me. It helped me a lot to make connections. The manager I met, they were really helpful. And now my major focus is to just clear the NHS assessments and interviews and get into it. I really want to get into the project management side of it because I think I'm quite good at it. And after like 2-3 years of the experience, I would love to go back to my country. And I want to, like, even if I could bring a slight change in the healthcare system in my country, that would be a huge success for me.
It's a very noble goal and wanting to do that. Do you think the course you're studying is preparing you for that? Will you be able to get there and help?
Yeah, definitely. Like, this course has taught me about the financial side of it, about the managing and leading the way for other people to follow you. There can be a manager in a hospital, but there are very few leaders actually. Yeah.
There's such a difference, isn't there, between managers and leaders?
So in our places, there are managers and CEOs, everyone, but there are few leaders. And I think people do need leaders. The change required a leader, not a manager. So this course is actually helping me a lot to develop my skills.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing I have seen in me, the changes I am like looking is, I'm really confident that it will help me to get where I want to go. So,
amazing. Okay, last question for you then. Have you got any advice for any students who are thinking to come to study in the UK? Not necessarily just Swansea, but thinking about leaving their home country and coming to the UK to study?
My number one advice would be to be welcoming, be accepting, never be as hard as a stone, be like a water, like just go with the flow and you're gonna live your best life, because it's a beautiful place. The whole UK, the whole country is a beautiful place. It's an accepting place. The people are really good. If you are coming here with the old mindset, you have to change that, because it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna be more open. You have to be more like accepting in nature. You have to trust that everything's gonna work. You're gonna make contacts, you're gonna make connections, and you're good to go.
Thank you, Narottam, and thank you for listening to this. If you want to find out more about studying in the UK or listen to other episodes in this series, please visit our website swansea.ac.uk/international.